Okay, let's start this guide off by talking about Rain's Wave Dash. So, Wave Dash in MK11 is pretty simple. The way you do it is basically you do a normal dash, and then at the end of the recovery of the dash, you input block, which will basically cover the like frames where it recovers, and you will be able to do another dash right after. So, just to show you what I mean, this is Rain dashing from full screen as Scorpion, about 3 dashes. Now look at the wave dashing, look how fast it goes. See that? Again, my waves are not the best with Rain right now, but you can see much faster movement. See how fast I can move around the screen using wave dashing compared to normal throws or normal dashes. This is just the most important thing about playing Rain at a high level in this game. It's mastering the wave dash, playing neutral, which means what you use.
Still fast as fuck, boy.
And that is pretty much it. So go into practice doing dash into block, dash into block, dash into block repeatedly, dash block, dash block, dash block. Once you feel comfortable with that, before you can really get into Rain, this is the most important thing about playing him at a high level, or just playing him in general. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the wave dash. Now Rain's pokes, which is what we're going to start off with, are pretty good. His down 1 is a 7 framer, which is not that good. However, his down 3, that's where his moneymaker is. Down 3 has excellent range. It's really plus on hits. What it's mainly used for is doing down 3, at a range where you can then move in or move back, just to annoy your opponent a little bit. Down 3 Katar toss. It's one of his other things you can do with it as well. Amplify the Katar toss just to make it safer, but also to push the opponent away if they try to counter poke. His down 4 is not that good, because it's basically the same range as this, it's just slower, so there's no reason to use it. There's actually no reason to use it. It's just this, but it's slower. His down 2 is pretty good, really fast actually, 10 frames down 2, it's not bad. And it does actually enable you to do some combos in some specific variation. Alright, so when it comes to buttons, Rain has got a few very good ones. Back 2 is his best mid, it goes into a string, and it is his best mid, so you use this to establish the strike throw game. Just a very good button to throw out there. Goes into back 2 and the full string, which is back 2 1 2, which is -4 on block. However, there is a flawless block gap on the last hit of this string, which makes it a little less good than you might initially hope. What's nice though is that you can sometimes do a down 3 after it. If you try to go in right after, you can catch them with the down 3. Try to jump after it, you can back up, you can enter them, stuff like that. It's really good to do back 2 1 staggers, because back 2 1 is on -7 again, back 2 is on -8. I mean, it's not really pressure, it's more like staggers, right? And if the opponent reads you, they can full cover punish you for it, so you have to be careful with it. But when you have things like Katar, you can cover the gap of the last hit, you can do back 2 1 into the tidal wave, stuff like that. Back 1 -5 on block, pretty good pushback. This is a very good stagger, so I put my opponent to block mode all. See, it is -5, making it a very good stagger, especially on their wake up. Back 3 is his best low, it's only low actually. -10, the full string is -7. This is very good, sometimes on wake up, because it does actually cover all wake up options. So if they block, they block that. If they delay wake up, they can shoot up. The only thing that beats is up 3, and even jump up 2 is not going to beat it either. Roll is going to take out the roll, because the wave is going to catch the roll as they roll past you. So this is a very good move if you are expecting the opponent to wake up in some way, because it covers most wake ups. Then you have his forward 3, -1 on block, so very good on block. This is one of his best moves, I think. It also low crushes, so if the opponent is doing a low attack, Rain is actually going to jump over them and sometimes punish the opponent for it. I like starting the rounds up with this, just if I'm expecting a jump in, because that's actually anti-air as well. It's just one of his best moves. Be careful, however, because it is very bad on whiff, and if they can actually anti-air as well for trying to do it. So I wouldn't prefer that always. It's something that you need to condition your opponents to not be ready for. Now another really good, or pretty, I wouldn't say really good, it's decent, is his forward 4. It's kind of like a low kind of wave that kicks some water at you. It's really good on block, but it is deaf on whiff. Like if they jump over you, and they can just punish you for this. So it's his forward 2, very good. This is probably his best advancing move, simply because it's a mid. I mean, I guess this is an advancing move as well. but this is really good because you can cancel into different, special cancel at the end. It's pretty good on block as well, not unsafe or anything, it's just safe, -6, and it has the extension which is 4-2 down 4, which is also safe, -5, and then it has another extension which is 4-2 grab, and after that you can either lead up standing, which will make you 0, which is decent neutral, or you can do a kick after it, which will change sides and also kick the opponent quite a bit distance away. Again, this is unsafe, like if you block this, that's unsafe, so I would just recommend, if you're gonna block, just do the string by itself, like that, or move by itself, do the low of it, or try to maybe do a special cancel in some kind of move that makes it safe. Let's talk about standing 1. Standing 1 is a 7-frame jab, it goes into 1-3-3. However, the last hit of this is a high, so if the opponent ducks that, you are pretty much done. They can also flawless block it, but instead he does have a overhead, which if they duck, they're going to hit by the overhead, but that can also be flawless blocked. So the idea is you want to stagger the 1-3, because the 1-3 is actually a pretty good stagger at -7, and if they respect you, you can do another 1-3-3, and maybe if they're trying to like poke out of this, they might not be ready for the last hit of the string, which will actually combo them if you have the right move equipped, or if you're in the corner. So that's one of his best strings, simply because it's his fastest punish. If you see someone do something unsafe, 1-3, or just standing 1 by itself, is his fastest punish. Another thing you do of this move is that if you equip Tidal Wave, you got 1-3 low, and because of the overheads, they might not block the low. Or you can do like 1-3 meter bend low, like that. 1-3 overhead, 1-3-4. It's pretty basic, but it does work. Another string that we need to cover as well is 2-4-2 grab. This is best knockdown ender for sure, because it is actually plus 13 on hit. He also has another string which is 2-4 down 4. Keep in mind that you cannot cancel this into specials if it is blocked. So for example, if the opponent blocks all this, so try to special cancel there. Can't do that. However, I can do it after the second hit. But something to keep in mind with this move is that you actually have to input the whole string. There's no string that's called 2-4 by itself. You have to input the whole string, but then cancel into it at the second hit. It's kind of weird. Takes time to get used to, but that is how you do that. Standing 2 is a pretty good anti as well. Not much to say about that move. Standing 3 is a really good anti, probably its best anti, at least from range, because you can do standing 3 into Geyser Palm, or into Water Bubble, or whatever you want to do. Now let's talk about rain throws and strike throw mix up for a second. Anytime you get close, it's either the back 2 mid or the throw. Now something that sucks about rain, as opposed to other strike throw characters, like for example like Geras or even Liu Kang or Shiva or something, is that both his throws knock the opponent far away, which means you have to now chase them to throw them once again. There's not a single throw he has that knocks the opponent close or anything. One thing that's good though is that he has KBs on his throws. If the opponent takes wrong, then the next throw will KB, and you can like reduce 30%. It doesn't matter, each direction gives 30% if you KB with it. But yeah, that's definitely one of his weaknesses, is that his throws just knock the opponent so far away that you have to now chase them back in if you're trying to strike throw them. Other than that, pretty decent. Now let's go into his specials. Rain has a few specials that I would like to talk about. First, he's got his Qatar, which is his. This is really good because along with his wave dash, this wave dash and Qatar creates a very good kind of neutral and controllable neutral for Rain, where you can control the space, and if the opponent jumps, you can anti with a Qatar from range. You can do stuff like that. You can dash back and forth, wait for that projectile. If you have lively, you can trade with that projectile. Unless you're playing against like Sub-Zero, then they're gonna get full combo for that. But if you're playing against someone who just has no projectile, like for example Katana or something, as long as the projectile doesn't do more damage than you and you have lively, you can definitely trade favorably with that. It is really slow on recovery. However, amplified version is not only a mid, but it's also much faster, and it's also much safer on block. Using Qatar, the ender strings, meter burn, that is a really good little thing you can do. It's a very good way to basically catch your opponent trying to poke, stuff like that. Just really nice. Another thing cool about the guitar is that you can actually amplify right before it hits the opponent. So the idea is if you think that they can duck the guitar, you can just burn it right before it hits them, and then they get hit by it because they're trying to duck it. Which is why a lot of people, you'll see them blocking the guitar because they don't want to get hit for you amplifying it. But using, a little bit of finesse and a little bit of tricks, you can make the opponent respect it, and then you just keep doing the normal one, and they keep blocking it because they think you're gonna do the meter burn. So that's the idea behind that. His other special is his water bubble. It's called water bubble. I don't actually know what it's called. Argus plunge. That's what it's called. Yeah. This is his armor breaker. So if you put the opponent off here and you get hit by it, they can basically carry it to the corner. I like using this because it puts the opponent in the corner right away. So for example, if you do like a basic combo here, like this, that, you can put them directly into the corner right away, and you get okay from that. It's only plus 11, whereas this is plus 13. So you want to use this exclusively for getting them into the corner. Or if you think they're gonna break, but there you go. You get a KB off it if you meter burn it as they break away, which is very strong. Or you can just do it by itself. Also, if it hits from range, like full range, and you meter burn, you also get the KB, which is pretty useful. Also, you can switch sides. So if you do this, you can hold this direction, and you'll go over here, or you can hold the other direction if you have inputs, or you'll go the other direction. So you can actually switch sides with it. It's pretty good at ending combos and breaking armor, and that's pretty much all it's used for, or just putting your opponent in the corner. He also has his Evaporate, which you can hold down, and he'll stay in the stance for a while. This move is mainly there to counter some zoning. That's pretty much all it does. Yeah, I've seen people do some crazy shit with it, but mainly it's there to counter zoning. It's a pretty good move. The problem is that it has a little bit of a slow recovery, so if the opponent is ready, they can actually punish you when you get out of the stance. But it is pretty good at dealing with projectiles, which is mainly what it's used for. So if you see one from a projectile, you can just evaporate and take no damage for it. If you have a Danian Force, you can do this move in the air as well, and he will actually jump gear. You can do it here, and then he'll like go down to the ground. It looks pretty funky, but that's how it works. Let's quickly talk about Rain's Fatal Blow. It's kind of slow, however you can control the range, so you can do like a close one, or you can do like a far one by holding forward. And it's pretty slow, so comboing into it can be a little bit tricky, but mainly you just use it in combos or whatever because it is so slow. But when you hit someone with it, you get some pretty decent damage for Fatal Blow. You switch sides as well, which can be useful sometimes, but nothing special to say about it. It's just a normal Fatal Blow. Alright, so when it comes to loadouts, there are a lot of different ways you can build Rain. But the variation that you are most likely going to see online, and the one that I recommend using, not trying to take against anything specific, just a good variation, is just running the Geyser Palm and Tidal Wave, and then the Hydro Boost for the combo extension. And what this variation is going to do is that you're going to be able to combo off things that you normally aren't going to be able to because of Geyser Palm. You're going to have a safety and a low from the Tidal Wave, which is also safe if you meter burn it or amplify it. And you're also going to be able to have the Hydro Boost, which is going to give you more damage than you're going to get from, for example, your Geyser Kick. So that's the first variation that I would recommend that you try if you are just starting off playing with Rain. Again, this character is very technical, so he's not very, I wouldn't recommend him for anyone who's just starting the game because he requires a little bit of finesse. Also, he is considered one of the, he's definitely on the weaker side of the tier list. So definitely a very fun character to play. That's the first variation. Something else you could be running. By the way, I recommend you always run the Geyser Palm. At least in most variations, it just gives you a very good combo off of his 1-3-3 string, as well as if you catch someone with like an air to air or like a jump in or something, like jump free, you can like easily combo into this and get like very good damage. Other than that, a fun one is Riptide. I don't use this like at all, but it can be very good. It is a restand, and you can use it at the end of combos, especially in the corner. It can be pretty okay. My problem with this move is that it takes up one slot, which you could use for something else. Another move that I think is very good is Water Ball. It's not something that you see that often right now, but it is a really good projectile because it does allow you to get more damage off of your water balls, of the water ball instead of basically you take out the Qatar, which is one of Rain's very good moves, and then you basically get more of a up close kind of mid-rangey kind of build with a lot more damage, because now you are able to basically get this water ball that will deal more damage in your combos and stuff like that. A very fun move as well is Purple Pain. This move you don't see that much. It's really good if the opponent is respecting you a lot, because you can basically just machine gun this out. So every time it ends, you can throw another one out there. You can end your combos with it for like some setup. It's super plus on block, but I wouldn't recommend using it on block, because it's very good after combos, but don't use it on block because you're gonna get punished for it. But that's a pretty fun move to use as well. I'm not gonna go into depth about this one too much, but I've been using it a while back as well. I made a video a long time ago where I used it, and it can be pretty good. One of his best moves is Edenian Force, and what this move basically does is that it allows you to do your some of your specials in the air. That being your like forward advancing water ball that it goes into. It's also your armor breaker, but you can use this in the air as well, and this will actually allow you to, in some matchups, especially zoning matchups, you can actually get in on people. For example, if playing into like someone like Cetron, who's doing the like the fire in the air, hits the ground, you can actually jump back and then punish her for that. Jade, it's very good at punishing Jade as well. Just any character has like a projectile that they are throwing out in the air, doing something in the air, and most likely you could punish them with the Edenian Force. Quantum Slice is another move that I want to talk about. It's really good against zoners, like zoning characters. Stuff like Cetron, stuff like Robocop, stuff like Jade, Katana maybe even. Just any character that wants to zone you out. Quantum Slice is really good because you can get in there very quick. I will go into detail more about this move later when we get to the guide, because I will actually cover a variation I'm using with one of these in it, or with this move in it. But not particularly combo heavy. It can be pretty good though. If you combine it with Edenian Force, you are able to do this move in the air as well. You can even slice at an angle, so you can hit people who are on the ground or in the air. You can also use it to escape. Just a very solid move, especially against zoning characters. Hydroplane is really good as well. It does require a little bit of finesse to use it, but if you are very good with Hydroplane, I'd say it is probably one of his best moves. The only problem with this move is that you can have both the Tidal Wave and this move at the same time, because it contradicts with each other. It conflicts with Tidal Wave, as it says right there. However, what this gives Rain is basically a dash, and you can actually punish things with gaps in it that you normally wouldn't be able to. You can even cancel it to be, move away from your opponent after a string, or you can amplify it, and that will actually push Rain towards the opponent. It's really minus on block, but the pushback is pretty good. So unless they have something like a Shadow Kick or a Slide or something, they won't be able to punish you that easily. A very strong move. This and Tidal Wave are going to be your main kind of neutral pressure type moves that are going to help you in neutral and as well as your pressure. And then finally, we're going to talk about Quantum Rift. Quantum Rift is really good against zoning characters. The cool thing about Quantum Rift is that if you do 2 of these, I think it's 2 or 3 of these, and you do Quantum Slice, then it'll actually Crushing Blow, and you can launch the opponent with Quantum Slice, which is a very good thing. Because then you actually get a combo of your Quantum Slice. And finally, we're gonna just quickly talk about the wave dashing, because this move is actually banned in competitive play. So you can't play this move in competitive mode, which is why I'm not gonna go into detail about it, because it is banned in competitive mode. But it is probably his strongest move, hence why it's banned. So not gonna go into too much detail about it. But yeah, just to summarize, Hydro Boost is one of his best moves. Tidal Wave, Hydroplane, Quantum Slice. Purple Pain is not that good, but it's fun. Edenian Force is great. Water Ball is pretty good. And Geyser Palm is one of his best moves as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for variations. And that is pretty much Rain. He's a pretty simple strike throw character. He has some tools that allows him to play at a very, a quick pace because of his wave dashing. He's pretty good control neutral because of his guitar. His damage is on the weaker side, and that is pretty much what he's made to do, is just strike throw you, play the neutral game, you know. Pretty fair character. Not particularly strong in the tier list, however, he is my favorite to play in the game. Him and Collector and of course Frost are my favorites. Hope you guys enjoyed this guide. If you want to see some Rain gameplay from me, I've uploaded a lot of Rain gameplay lately, where I'm playing. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide and the overview, and I'll see you next video. Take care.